Hello, Dino here again, and welcome to another series of the Limitless Hair Expert. Today's subject is how to evaluate the dangers of hair shedding. Now, here's what you have to clearly understand. What is hair shedding? Now, every single hair on your head has a life cycle of about 2 to 3 years. And after that life cycle is finished, a new hair comes underneath the old hair and pushes the old one out. Almost like when you're a child, you have a new tooth growing underneath, pushing the old tooth out when a new tooth grows in. It's the same thing that happens on your own hair. But you have to understand, you have hundreds of thousands of hairs on your head. So every day, one of your life cycles is up on many hairs, pushing the old hairs out. So when your hair is shedding, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It's just the cycle of the hair falling out by new ones coming up and pushing them out. All right? So now average hair loss is somewhere between 60 to 100 hairs a day. Now, the thicker your hair is, the more shedding you're going to have. The thinner your hair is, the less shedding you're going to have, because then you have less hairs. So now you might ask, well, how do I know if I'm losing hair and going thinner or not? Here's what it boils down to. I want you to understand the hair thinning cycle. Now, when your hair thins, it's not the fact that your old hairs are being pushed out and they're not growing back. They're always growing back. Here's what happens. During your thinning cycle, when your hair does thin, new hairs push the old hairs out. But these new hairs that grow in a thinner diameter and to a shorter degree. And then when those hairs are finished with those life cycles, they're pushed out by more new hairs that grow thinner, even thinner in diameter, and even a shorter degree of hair length. So each hair in your head actually establishes a new maximum hair length. Some hairs will grow to 3 inches and stop. Some hairs will grow to 8 inches and stop. Some 10 inches and stop. All right? So that's the cycle of how you lose your hair, by having new hairs push the old hairs out, but those new hairs are growing in thinner diameter and to a shorter degree. And that's the cycle of hair thinning. It's important for you to know so you can understand when your hair is thinning, when is it dangerous, when is it not dangerous. It gives you a little clearer perspective on what's going on with your hair as it's shedding. Okay? So the quote for today is, your self-concept is the key to personal growth. Now, there's 3 parts of your self-concept that's very important. Number 1 is your self-image, the way you look at yourself, the way you believe in yourself. Number 2, there's something called your ideal self. Your ideal self is what you look at yourself to ideally become, what you believe that you can grow to, what you could become. That's your ideal self. And thirdly, there's your self-esteem, the way you feel about yourself, what helps you produce results, your self-esteem. So please remember your self-concept. So stay tuned for our next video, which will be how to evaluate the best hair when adding hair. And I'll see you soon.